And I'm going to continue reading from Ecclesiastes. First, I'm just going to summarize chapter 2 or point some things out. So, the author, who, as far as we know, is Solomon, just continues talking about how he's done everything and is still unsatisfied. And everything in earth, everything here is vanity. And this reminds me of when Jesus tells us later about the kingdom of heaven and how it's like a pearl merchant who sold everything that he has to go buy this one pearl. And that's how I feel. And where our heart is, that's where our treasure is. And our treasure should be in heaven, not here on earth. So there really isn't anything for us here. That's scriptural. And it's from Jesus. Jesus tells us that there's nothing for you here. And there's one good thing. And it's going to be in heaven. So that's what I'm reminded of when reading this, that you can do whatever you want here on earth and you're still going to be left unsatisfied. This place is not satisfying. So in chapter 2, the author talks about testing hedonism and drunkenness. This is actually, I feel like a lot of truth seekers, a lot of people that follow me from 2017 era, waking up to conspiracy stuff, can really relate to this. I'm guessing, just because I did it myself and I know other people like this too, that before I woke up, I did become just like openly hedonistic at a point. I was like, you know what, let's get weird with it. Let's just feel good all the time. And I was an alcoholic before I woke up. So it's just interesting, the parallels there. And so another thing that I feel somewhat a connection to, but totally on a different level than the author of Ecclesiastes. This person did great works on earth. They built amazing things. And what I think of, it reminds me of like Versailles. Imagine if you had it in you to build Versailles and fill it with a court and maids and servants, and you have all the strange instruments of the time, and you have a full choir at your hand, and this is the type of level that these people were operating at back then. And so this person basically builds Versailles with all the trees, the gardens, the pools, everything, and they're still left unsatisfied. But I just think of it, I feel like everybody gets this urge. If I could just make this great thing, my life will be complete. I've felt that, of course, and when you make videos and when you're seeking after truth, when you're looking into conspiracy, when you're trying to, you do have that false notion of, if I could figure out this one thing. That doesn't exist. If I could make this one video, if I could put all my effort and make this epic video, if I could write a book, it's the spirit that makes people like, I'm going to write a book. How many people out there are like, I'm writing a book? It's not going to, you won't feel fulfilled. Finish your book, you won't feel fulfilled. The wise see and the foolish are blind, but in the end, we all die. We're all worm food in the end. And oftentimes, it's a fool who comes and takes your place. What's the point of spending your lifetime building Versailles if you die and the person who takes your place is a utter fool? What's the point? Why build Versailles if it's going to fall into the hands of a fool? So that's also some interesting points from chapter 2. And I'm just going to read chapter 3, and that'll be it for this video. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 is especially poetic. It gets turned into music often, so I hope you enjoy. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. What profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboureth? I have seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life. And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God. I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And God doeth it, that men should fear before him. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God requireth that which is past. And moreover I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. I said in mine heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. Even one thing befalleth them. As the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yea, they have all one breath, so that a man hath no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. All go unto one place, all are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be after him? Hope you enjoyed the video. God bless everyone.